I got a microphone and this is how it sounds like. It's not the worst audio in the world, but it also sounds like I'm in a blanket underwater. No, you know what I really sound like? You know what I really sound like? I sound like when pilots are announcing that you're about to land. We've reached Ibiza with blue skies, temperature 31 degrees Celsius. Thank you for flying with us. I was so excited because I was like, I wanted to sound like this. You're listening to 103.5 Dawn FM, where we play the weekend music nonstop. But now I just have to settle with scuba diver for now. I'm gonna figure out whether I'm the one who's not accustomed to the audio because I can't keep recording videos like this. Because first of all, it's uncomfortable, and second of all, I have the urge to just.
Well, much better now. Bye, Mikey. Bye, microphone. Bye, bye, microphone. Bye. Oh. Today I'm gonna be using this until I feel much better. So we're gonna be talking about being shameless, and that just means how to become a bolder version of yourself who is not afraid to chase their goals, their aspirations, friendships, relationships, whatever it can be, and just approaching the people that you know you need to approach, or just signing up for the things that you need to sign up for, or just applying for things, you know. That's the vibes. That's the vibes today. So just to start us off, the term shameless has a very negative connotation towards it, at least in many communities, because when you misbehave, the first thing you hear is, "You are such a shameless child. Have you no shame? You're shameless." So where we're from, like our setting, we're very conditioned to be anti this word because it connotes someone who is very scandalous, someone who does chaotic things, someone who brings, havoc in the society or in the community or at home or whatever. So that's how most of us associate this word. But today we're going to be talking about being shameless in a way that means being bolder and putting yourself out there and chasing your dreams and just going after what you know is good for you, because the truth is life is short. And so just to start off our video, we're going to be kind of debunking where this fear or shame to go after what we know is good for us comes from, and steps we can take to get there, and then we're going to conclude. So just to debunk a little bit about why most of us suffer from, that fear or that hold back. So when you see someone like your mentor walking by, or someone that you really admire, and you don't feel like you have the courage, or you don't even know if you can present yourself really well, and you don't know if you can have a conversation with them, those kind of things, where does it come from? The shame or the fear that you have to go after exactly what you want often comes from the fears that you harbor in your mind. And specifically, I'm going to talk about the fear of how you relate with others, in that most of us are afraid of how we're going to come off to others. We're afraid of what people are going to say about us when we try something unconventional. We are afraid of how people are going to perceive us. You look bolder than you've always been. Are you faking your personality to get somewhere? And all of that. But the truth is, people don't really care, and it's mostly almost always in your mind. And even if they do care, they're only talking about you because that's the most relevant thing at the time. And as the new thing comes along, people are going to move along, the story is going to change, and you're just going to be okay. Now, the truth is, fear isn't the only thing you might need to overcome when you're thinking about chasing your dreams and becoming shameless and putting yourself out there and doing all that good stuff. Other external factors that may be holding you back as well. For example, your background. Do you have access to information and resources that will get you to where you need to go? Do you have access to language spoken by most people? Do you have access to people who can connect you to your opportunities and all that? Do you have mentors? Do you have networks? So this video is not about ignoring all those factors. I'm very cognizant that they're there, and there are many reasons why you may be unable to go for what you need at that moment. But today we're going to be focusing on fear specifically, because that's something you can control. The rest of the things you can work around, you can do your research, you can get with people. But for today, we're going to be focusing on fear. When I was thinking about making this video, I was just making my plans, my outlines and whatever. I had a call with my very good friend Wangari, and she was basically going through the same thing, and we just got into it and we debunked a little bit about why people don't go after what they want, or some of the things that you might be telling yourself that may not be really good to tell yourself because it's just holding you back at the end of the day. So I want to give her a special thanks for just helping me to, create a better structure for it. So to start us off, there's this quote. It's so common, so cliche, but it's very true, and it makes sense. It's self-explanatory. And the quote is, "In the end, you only regret the chances that you didn't take." This is a very corny and cliche quote, but the truth is, and that at some point in life, you saw someone do something that you always knew you could do, and they thrived at it, they got attention from it, they got praise from it, they got awards from it, they got life-changing opportunities from it. And you just sit back and you're like, that could have been me up there. And I know I could have done it better. But it's like the opportunity is gone now. I can't do it too because I'm gonna look like a copycat and nobody wants that. So I'm sure most of us have gone through something like that, or if you haven't, you know someone who has. And the hard truth is, fortune favors the bold. Wow, today I'm just full of cliches, aren't I? But it's so true. Fortune favors the bold. You have to be willing to get over yourself, get over your mind, get over those setbacks, and just go for what you need. Having said all that, sounds very idealistic. So now putting it into practical terms, you have to have a clear goal in mind, and it's not bad to be ambitious. I feel like in the environment that we live in today, people view people who know exactly what they want in a different way because they appear very self-centered or they appear very egotistic. As long as you know what you're going after and you have a clear goal and you have your ambition set, then doing what you need to do to get there is just your way of taking care of yourself and looking out for yourself. But there's something important I need to mention, even as we continue talking about just putting yourself out there and asking for things in a more confident way. You need to be very careful that you're not chasing someone else's dream. Because most of us, we are very active, on social media, TikTok, Instagram, all that. And we see how many people's lives have changed just from taking one drastic step. And you get so inspired that sometimes you catch yourself like kind of wishing on things that were not necessarily in your initial game plan. And it's not bad to change your mind and to change your whole life course. But at the same time, you need to be very careful that you don't want to start chasing someone else's dream through comparisons or through being envious and all that. And who wants to do that? Not me. And the thing about chasing other people's dreams is that their goals become yours, and as well their limits become yours. So are you really living for yourself, or are you trying to be like someone else? And it's not bad to try and mirror somebody, but make it your own. Have your own purpose. Don't sell yourself short and all that trying to chase someone else's dream. Yes, they are real. I think I'm craving something because the way I'm acting today is out of order. The other point I would propose to you guys is just working on your confidence. We all know of people who've gotten to live lives they never imagined they could, or gotten to opportunities that they would have never otherwise thought they would have achieved, just by being confident enough and positioning themselves in a very strategic way. Now, confidence is something that you work on progressively, but sometimes you need to just take the plunge because the opportunity you are after will not necessarily be there at any given point. So you need to sometimes just take the plunge and just hope that the right words or the right conviction or the right belief in yourself will find you forward. That means you sometimes have to act in faith, because if you wait until you're the most confident person in the room, chances are that you're going to miss out on so much. So just go for whatever you want to go for, and if it works out for you, good for you. You're already taking positive steps towards growing your confidence levels. But if it doesn't, take it as a lesson and also see what you can improve next time. Make peace with uncertainty. I say this as someone who has had to shoot their shot so many times this year alone, and every time I shot my shot, either applying somewhere for a job or whatever, anything, I've tried so many things this year. Whoop! I have always tried to manage my expectations by reminding myself that this could go really, really well or really, really badly, and you have to be okay with the outcome, because the truth is, nobody owes you anything, and as much as you're putting yourself out there and you want it to work out for yourself, you have to manage your expectations, because this is how so many people turn sour, turn bitter, trying everything and it's not working out for me. So what's going wrong? Am I not good enough? Sweetie, you're good enough. But sometimes things just don't work out the way we intend for them to work out. And you just have to be very cognizant of that fact and accept it beforehand. So for example, say you're in a networking dinner and you see the guy you admire the most in your industry and you're thinking, I want to approach him. And then just as you approach him, he gets a phone call. And you know the way busy people, when where's a phone? I feel like I need to demonstrate this. And you know the way when someone gets a phone call and they know they're important. So you're there, excuse me sir, I'm very excited to, and then he's just like, and then he walks away. How are you gonna handle that? So you need to kind of play all these scenarios in your mind and be very okay with how each and every one of it turns out. Manage your expectations, because then when you don't expect too much, when something great comes out of it, it's like 10 times better, and it's more mind-blowing for you, and you just appreciate it more because you know what it took and what you were willing to forego. On that same breath, something I would add is that you don't always have to mention what you're about to do to the people around you. Doesn't matter whether they really care about you or whether they're just casual friends. I feel like sometimes because they care so much about you, they will want to advise you on how to do this, do that. And in as much as it might be something that they're trying to do in a positive light, it might end up discouraging you or just distorting your line of ambition. So sometimes just keeping quiet until you're done with what you wanted to do can be a good thing. Plus, if you take an L, then you have less people to come clean to. I mean, if you ask me, it's a win-win. It's not that serious. The worst they could say is no, and you just move on. Something me and my friend Wangari like saying is, kwani atanichapa? And that directly translates, will they beat me? Are they gonna beat me? Then no, okay, then let's go. Because like, what they could say is no, of course you'll feel crushed and all that, but then it's like, you can move on from that. And at the very least, at least you have introduced yourself, you've made your impression, and if all goes well, at least they'll remember you for a future thing, a future venture, or just whatever it is that you're chasing. They'll have you in their mind first, or even if not, at least you'll have let go of that worrisome fear of regret and just like not going after what you wanted to go for. In as much as whatever you're chasing might be like life-changing, like a new job or making new networks that can take you very far, you are doing okay as you are, hopefully, and you will continue to do okay, and new opportunities will come. So just remember that. And every time you feel that inch of doubt, that voice telling you you're not good enough, ignore it and say, kwani atanichapa? Kwani atanichapa? Hasn't atanichapa. If the answer is yes, sis, bro, run. But if the answer is no, which it often and mostly is, I hope, then you really have nothing to lose, and the best you can do is just go for whatever you want to go for. Honestly, all these things are in your mind, and it's just having a pep talk with your mind to where you rationalize everything and you just analyze everything in a very objective point of view. And if all the pointers point toward you going for whatever you want to go for, do it. These things that I've told you, they will take time to build. Your mind is a very strong muscle and it needs exercise. So even as I say these things, it's not like you're not just gonna snap your fingers and you're gonna be the boldest person in the room and you're just gonna be like, hi sir, my name is so-and-so and I'm looking for an opportunity in your office. No, it doesn't work like that. You probably need to take time, and you're gonna need to practice it on some people. You can start small. Start by asking for the small things. If you feel like you're at a cafeteria and the serving lady has served you like very kidogo food, ask for more. Become Oliver Twist and ask for more, because that's the only way you'll get practice. Next time, go to the supermarket. Someone skips you in line, speak up. Say something about it, and say it respectfully though. Next time you go to your favorite restaurant, you see someone that you really admire at the corner, say hi. Just wave, say hi. If they see you and wave back, well and good. If they ignore you, we move. Then the next time you're gonna do something even bolder, and it just keeps getting better and better and better, because it's very hard for you to feel oppressed, to feel like you're holding yourself back, to feel like you're falling behind when you know you've done your best to ask for what you need at that point in time. And even if it doesn't work out for you, that consoling feeling of, well, at least I tried and move on, is very, very, very powerful. Hopefully this video has been helpful to somebody who is just looking to build their interpersonal skills and just get bolder at asking for things that they need or want. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what's the boldest thing you've done. I'm so curious to know, because I'll see you on the next one. Bye.